It's all covered in today's China Truths.
What you're about to hear is not an economic analysis, not an expert opinion, and not a pile of statistics pulled from some official report. This is a confession torn out of collapse, a reckoning forced into the open. It is a story shared by millions across China, even though most people are still too afraid to say it out loud. For years, the entire society was hypnotized by one absolute belief: housing prices only go up. That idea was repeated until it felt like a law of nature. Parents drilled it into their children, agents shouted it in sales offices, and the media reinforced it every single day. Anyone who dared to question it was mocked as short-sighted, ignorant, or simply too poor to understand. So let me ask you honestly, without slogans or self-deception, why did you believe your home would rise forever? Why did you think you were the exception, immune to collapse, protected from reality? At what point did faith replace reason? Reality doesn't negotiate, and it doesn't care what you believed. 80% of 880,000 yuan is gone. Not lost in business, not stolen by fraud, not destroyed by disaster. It simply evaporated, as if years of hard work and sacrifice never existed at all. As I sit here holding a glass of wine, the sharpest pain isn't the money. It's the memory of what I said back in early 2020, during Lunar New Year, when I told people with confidence and pride that if they didn't buy immediately, they would miss their chance forever. I thought I was giving wisdom. In truth, I was already walking into a trap. At the peak of the real estate frenzy, when prices were insane and reason had disappeared, I became the perfect victim. I didn't resist. I didn't question. I followed along obediently, believing every word I was told. By the time I realized what was happening, the door had already slammed shut behind me. I wasn't buying a home anymore. I was buying into a system designed to drain a lifetime of labor in exchange for debt, fear, and silence. And like countless others across China, I only understood that after it was far too late. Agents swore that apartments in a far-off development were being snapped up. They said buyers were fighting each other. They said prices would jump again next month. Panic did the rest. Money was gathered overnight. Anyone who wanted in threw down 100,000 yuan, no questions asked. Looking back, that wasn't buying a home. That was sprinting straight into a pit. The apartment cost 1.88 million yuan. I scraped together 600,000 for the down payment and signed a mortgage for 1.28 million. 4 years passed. Every month, payments went out like clockwork. I paid nearly 380,000 yuan in total, and guess how much of that reduced the principal? 50,000. The rest was swallowed by interest. Not slowly, ruthlessly, like a legalized bloodsucker with perfect paperwork. Then came the real nightmare. I listed the apartment for sale at 1.38 million yuan, already a massive loss. No calls, no visits, silence. The market didn't reject me angrily. It ignored me completely. At this point, I don't even care anymore. If someone takes it off my hands and I lose 600,000 yuan, fine. Even if I end up sleeping on the street, at least the pressure might ease. At least I might live longer. What I thought was security has become a chain around my neck. I no longer know how to move forward or backward. So I made a decision. I'll stop paying. After all, am I really the owner or just a lifetime renter for the bank? Meanwhile, the collapse accelerates. New developments that once sold for 12 million yuan now sit at 4 million. 3 years. That's all it took. People who bought at the peak lock themselves in bathrooms and cry in silence. Escape is no longer possible. The door slammed shut while they were still smiling. One of the most infamous examples is a project called Moon Bay Garden in Xincheng. Once marketed as a dream community, now it's a symbol of financial ruin. If prices continue falling like this, survival itself becomes questionable. A friend of mine bought in 2021 for 3 million yuan. First it dropped to 2 million, then 1.5. Now it's below 1 million. Over 2 million yuan erased just like that. No disaster, no war, just time passing. The cruel joke? Those who didn't buy homes became the winners. Those who saved desperately, borrowed heavily, and followed every rule were destroyed. Public data shows the property market has been declining for over 30 straight months, but numbers don't capture the feeling. Don't ask me about my home's value anymore. Every question feels like cold water poured onto an open wound. And here's the part most people still don't understand. This isn't even the worst stage yet. The real monster is oversupply. In northern Shanghai, a luxury 226 square meter apartment 5 bedrooms was slashed from 23.55 million yuan to just 6.73 million in an emergency sale. That's not a discount. That's panic. Buying a home in China means pouring your entire lifetime into concrete. And for what? A so-called 70-year ownership right that feels more like a punchline now. Look at many residential complexes today. They're not even 20 years old, yet cracks crawl across the walls, pipes leak, elevators fail. Be honest, do you believe they'll still be livable in 30 years? For ordinary workers who bought in recent years, the pressure is unbearable. Prices shot up like rockets, then fell like cliffs. 1/3 of a lifetime's savings earned through sweat, overtime, and sacrifice vanished. No one knows how long they can hold on. In the past, selling property meant celebration, champagne, fireworks. Now people celebrate only because they managed to lose less than expected. Profit is no longer the goal, survival is. People whisper that by 2025, housing prices across the mainland are collapsing like an avalanche. Even after brutal price cuts, buyers don't show up. Years of savings gone. Some homeowners defaulted. Their homes were auctioned at fire sale prices. They were blacklisted overnight. One decision destroyed decades of effort. Many still remember the days when buying meant instant gains. But when the madness faded, the fall was merciless. Parents' savings, children's futures, all wiped out. People say it feels like the sky has collapsed, and they're not exaggerating. In some regions last year, prices plunged by 95%, from 16,000 yuan per square meter to just 600 million yuan assets reduced to spare change. Official figures admit China already has more than 50 ghost cities. Panic selling erupted in places like Zhengzhou and Wuhan. The slogan changed overnight from "you can't buy" to "don't dare buy." Hundreds of thousands of unsold units pile up. Silence fills showrooms. Just a few years ago, this was unimaginable. A home bought in Shanghai in 2021 lost half its value in 2 years. 3 generations' savings disappeared. Bankruptcy followed. And this story is not rare, it's everywhere. Homes that once sold for 30,000 yuan per square meter now sit at 11,000. In Xinjiang alone, 1/5 of households are effectively bankrupt. Their debts exceed their assets because prices were artificially inflated. In parts of Beijing, values collapsed from over 20,000 to around 6,000 per square meter, an 80% drop. An 85 square meter apartment, with parking and appliances, now sells for just 80,000 yuan. Let that sink in. Across China, skyscrapers still rise into the sky, but inside, they're hollow. Vacancy rates are abnormal. Near Beijing, in what netizens call the #1 ghost town, thousands of villas sit abandoned in the mountains. At night, there are almost no lights. Darkness swallows entire neighborhoods. If this continues, 10 years from now, the country will be filled with empty towers, cities without people. Imagine this dilemma. Your home was bought for 1 million yuan. It's now listed at 700,000. Buyers offer 400,000. Do you sell? Selling locks in pain. Holding risks, total collapse. Even agents don't know what to advise anymore. Prices are falling so violently that what used to be called cutting to the bone is now cutting to the ankle. In Weihai's Nanshan area, homes once worth 1.8 million now sell for 80,000 to 100,000. Courtyards overgrown, walls moldy, entire buildings nearly empty. Owners say they'll sell to anyone willing. Holding on is meaningless. This is not isolated. Nationwide, second-hand homes are being slashed by tens of thousands, yet buyers stay away. Apartments, 20 to 30 years old, trade for tens of thousands. At this pace, such prices may become normal across the country within 5 years. The ones who should panic are no longer buyers but owners. Cities are defined by endless rows of apartments. Drive through any urban area, and residential blocks stretch endlessly. The question no one wants to answer is simple: who will live in all of them? A friend told me something chilling. Those born between 1988 and 1998 are the unluckiest generation. They missed the economic boom and caught the collapse. By the time younger generations buy, prices will likely be far lower. This generation was sacrificed. Developers once pushed prices from $2,000 to $30,000 per square meter in just years. The boom is over, but they still hope ordinary people will become the next victims. The problem is, people aren't that naive anymore. Unless prices return to reality, no one will pay for steel and concrete dreams. In Binzhou's Zhonghai area, a once hot residential complex now has a single resident. In one tower, only 2 units are occupied. Where did everyone go? This wave has dragged countless families into the abyss. I watched a video yesterday. A homeowner crushed by mortgage pressure tried to sell, only to receive an offer barely covering the remaining loan. When negotiations collapsed over 50,000 yuan, the owner broke down crying. Years of effort gone. Deep down, everyone knows prices may continue falling. Developers are bleeding. Their voices are barely heard.
Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. We will keep reporting on the COVID surge in China, so don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell to get the latest videos. And thank you for tuning in.